teach you how to read a file in Node.js. First of all, I don't have any file here. Let's say we have a server.js. It's an empty. There is no code inside the server.js file. I'm going to create a new JSON file, data.json. Let me create a new object, Jando, and ID should be, let's say it's a person object. So I would like to read this data in my server.js file. To use that, we have to have a FS module. We have to require the FS module because it is a built-in module in Node.js. There are two ways to use the FS module: synchronous way and asynchronous way. If you would like to use the asynchronous way, you have to use the callbacks. First of all, I would like to show you the demo with synchronous way. You can use the read file sync. Yep. Here we need to provide the path which is in the root directory. That's why I use this one ./data.json file, because it is presenting in the root folder, which is our. Now let's say I would like to log the data, console.log data. Let's try to test it out. But I got the buffer because it is returning the buffer. So we have to add the UTF-8, which is the encoding. UTF-8, what is wrong with that? Invalid encoding UTF. Now I got the object. You can see the ID and with the name. So what I would like to do here, read the data in asynchronous way. Const data fs.read file. This time I don't need to store in the variable because I'm going to use the callback way. Read file. Here we need to provide the callback function. The first argument will be the error and the second argument will be the data. If there is an error, let's say, you can log the error. Otherwise what we can do, you can say that return console.error. Let's say if everything is good, we can log the data. Log data. Error invalid callback. Callback must be a function. I am using that function. We need to provide the name of the file, data.json, and we need to provide the encoding, which is UTF-8. Now the third argument is the callback. The first argument should be error. Now you can see that I got the object. There is another way, which is third asynchronous way, which is a lot of developers are using this format using async await. Let's say data2, and I'll talk more about the async await. You can apply await expression only on promise. fs.read file sync. I think we have to convert that into, I'll talk more about the async await in the future videos. Similarly, you can read the directories. Let's say that directories fs.read directory sync. Let's provide the root path. Let's try to check it out. dirs. We have two files, data.json and the server.js file. You can also do that with the help of async await callbacks. fs.read file, read directory, Yep, error and the data. If error, you can log the error or return that. Console.error, return with this error. Otherwise, we can log data. Now you can see that data.json server.js file got the response. I can also teach you how to write the file. You can use fs.write file. Let's follow the async way. I'm gonna say to message.txt file, and we have to provide the buffer or the value or the data in string form. I am writing the file. Let's try to test it out. Awesome, you can see the message.txt file. Let's follow asynchronous way how to write the file. fs.write file. This time we don't need to use the synchronous way. Message1.txt. I'm using the txt extension. Let's provide the buffer value of this file. Let's say I am learning Node from HTTP guy. The first argument would be error, the second argument would be the data. If error, return console.error, return it and log the error. Otherwise, we gotta log the response, which is our data. Let's try to check it out. Yep, this write file will not return anything, so I don't need to cache the data. Or you can say that file written successfully. You can see the message1.txt. What will happen if I provide the invalid extension here? It has written the .txt text file. Okay, cool. So we talked about how to read the file synchronous way. I used read file sync. I also talked about how to read the file asynchronous way with the help of callbacks. We provide the name, encoding, and our callback method. So when Node will complete the data.json file, execution of this data.json file, this callback will be called. Node can execute the next line of code. When the callback completed, when the operation of this task will be completed, this callback will be called. Similarly, we use the read directory file. This is how you will read the directories. Also talked about how to read the directories asynchronous way. We talked about how to write the file with asynchronous way.